Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own modern house. I have also designed the interior, but you have to wait until the end of the video to see it. Here are all of the materials that we will be using throughout the build. Begin by placing a row of 8 grey concrete extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend to the left by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend backwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend across. And then all the way back to the beginning. Then join each one of the 4 corners of the shape that we have created down to the ground. What we have essentially made is a nice big squarish box. And with this grey squarish box, we then want to place a row of birchwood planks on the left side of the box, extending from the front to the back or the back to the front. The row of birch wants to overhang the back by 1 row and the front by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add another row of birch on the outside here. And then extend both rows of birch upwards equally until they overhang the top of our grey concrete area by 1 row. So this is just 1 row, but it should look like this. And then of course we just have to do the other layer. So we can extend this all the way up to the top as well. The reason that I decided to go with 2 rows of birch is to add a little bit more space to the inside of the build, because we can carve into the birch planks if need be. So now that we have achieved this shape, the next thing that we are going to do is build up the right side of the build a little bit. So on this side of the build, we want to place 2 entire rows of grey concrete at the bottom, in between the 2 rows of grey concrete that we already have. Then starting from the left, we want to place a grey concrete, then a smooth quartz, and then 2 grey concretes like this. Then we're going to fill the remaining area in using grey, except we want to leave 2 rows above where we have the quartz. So we want to leave this little doorway here. Then extend the smooth block of quartz outwards, place a smooth quartz stairs in front, and then in front and below that, and then finally in the ground in front and below that. Build up the remaining and rear part of the staircase using smooth quartz like this. And then behind the smooth quartz, we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey glazed terracotta, and we want to build up 2 rows of it like this. On the back of the build, we want to build up 2 rows of grey concrete, starting from the bottom, 1, 2, and rising all the way up to the top, like this. And then we want to wrap the light grey glazed terracotta around, like so. Then, what we can then do is place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves on top of the light grey glazed terracotta, and this wants to wrap around as well, just to add a little bit more nature to the build. It adds a little bit of colour, it makes it look a little bit more interesting, I think. Then on the back of the build, we want to add a couple of rows of light blue stained glass pane at the base of the build, in between the 2 rows of grey concrete. Add a row of grey concrete above, and then fill in the remaining larger area, also using glass, like this. What we can then do is, in front of the light grey glazed terracotta, we can wrap a row of grey concrete around, and the row of grey concrete wants to wrap around, extend forwards, and line up with where we have the birch planks here on the left side of the build, just like this. We then want to place 2 rows of birchwood planks in the ground, just left of the grey concrete wall that we've created, that just leads back towards the grey concrete area. We can fill the roof in using grey concrete as well, whilst we're at it, so whilst we're just here. Perfect. We also want to add an extra row, or an actual extra 2 rows of grey concrete just down below the roof line. So that would be 1, and then this would be 2, just like this. Then we want to add a row of smooth quartz block inside of the build, where we have the separating row of grey concrete at the back here, or where we have the door line here as well. So whichever one you kind of want to choose as a marker, it's up to you. So once you've extended the smooth quartz outwards, we want to add a little extra one here on the left, and then add a row of grey concrete just here to the right of all of the quartz. Extend the left and right grey concretes upwards to kind of like just hit the ceiling. And then we want to just add an extra grey here and place a light blue stained glass pane just to form a window. Then we're going to place a row of smooth quartz block in front of the actual like floor line, just leaving 1 block away here, just on the right, and then add an extra row of smooth quartz. Join the corner block down to the ground. Then dig in front of this and dig to the left and replace all of those blocks there using smooth quartz. Fill this area in using light blue stained glass paint. And then we're going to dig inside of the build, and we're going to rip out the floor and replace it with something. Now, I'm not 100% sure what I want to use yet. I might just use good old smooth quartz, or I might use birch. Underneath this back window, I'm definitely using grey concrete, and I think that I'm going to settle on using birch for the remaining floor. So, all just here. Then I'm going to add an extra row of grey concrete here. So this is parallel to the row of quartz block that we have there. So that will allow us to place a door in here. We have to add a little bit of a balcony around the top of this smooth quartz area. So this is going to be light blue glass pane. And then above this area here, we're going to have a couple of rows of smooth quartz slabs. So literally just above where this door is here, just half a row above, we want to have a little bit of an overhang. We also want to have an additional overhang extending from the balcony area here. This is just above the glass window line. It is 3 rows of smooth quartz slabs extending out like this. It will be even and level with the birch planks. Then we can place a couple of rows of birch fence just on the corner here. And then we are going to, underneath the fence area to the left, we're going to dig and replace this using quartz. This is kind of going to leave this little area sectioned off. And then we can either leave it like this, which is quite nice actually. I quite like this just keep being boxed in. Or alternatively, we can extend this little path an additional row forwards and this wall. And then what we can do from here is just add just a few finishing touches before we touch the interior. So we'll grab the oak door, a hoe, some seeds, poppies, lime terracotta, green terracotta. This part's going to be really, really fast. Going to add some flowers in front of the entire build here. So just from this path, going all the way left in front of the actual house area. And then we're going to dig out all of the area just inside of the quartz area that we've kind of created underneath the overhang, and we're just going to plant some seeds. We're going to add doors wherever we need them. So like here, this is the entrance to downstairs. Here, this is the entrance to upstairs. And if you want one, you can even have one on the balcony area as well. And the only remaining thing that we have to do is we just have to dig out just this little area at the back where, because this is kind of like a square, or at the very least like a rectangle, a box at the very least, I just want to add a row of lime and then green terracotta just extending out of the back of the house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the house will look like without any interior, but it is 100% ready for one. So now I'm going to go away, I'm going to decorate the inside, and hopefully it will give you guys a little bit of inspiration. So this is what your modern house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. Now, there isn't a lot of room in this house, so the interior isn't overly complicated, but hopefully you'll get something out of it regardless. So on the ground level, we have a small little enchantment area, nicely set up, I think, nice and symmetrical. On the opposite side, we have a bit of a crafting area with a couple of chests built into the ground, two double chests, a double chest, as it is known. That doesn't even make any sense, but that's okay. And then up here on the second level, we have a bit of a smelting station with a little bit more storage. We also have a double bed because it just so perfectly fit in this corner with an armor stand and a little bit of a light source and another chest. And last but not least, we have a little entrance out onto this balcony, and that's kind of it. If you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system in the description below, and maybe even the top of the comment section as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!